Hey everybody, welcome back to Champ and Sons and our Planet Coaster 2 live stream series we've got going here. So just as a quick update, in the last episode we got these flat rides done. They're outside here, they're queue paths. Basically thinking of it like a little port kind of pier section, like a fishing pier kind of section. So we've got those completed last episode. And this episode, we're not going to do our kind of raised up restaurant there, but we are going to go ahead and do our river rapids. Now, one thing I wanted to do here, at least I've thought about now, is I want to actually raise this up just a little bit, but if I do that, it doesn't actually fit right there so much. So what I'm going to do, I think we're going to go ahead and rotate this around. And I'm probably going to shift it out to over here. I would think. That seems like a pretty good starting point. Now on this, we are going to go ahead and edit the track, but I'm not going to do that just yet. Let's take a look at the station. Entrance left, exit right. I'll go entry left, exit right. I think that's going to be better because I want to bring the queue path out, bring it over the back end of the track here. And then I'm going to try to raise this land up some to match, to kind of run the queue line down and bring the land up around here to kind of give it some elevation feel, right? So essentially this is what we're talking about doing. Let me just highlight it for you. Close out of that. Come on. Terrain. So if I raise the terrain up, and now then let me just kind of get ready to level it out. See, I can raise it up even further, which, yeah, I am going to go ahead and do that. Now, I know some people with these river rapid rides have done the, let's make it a, the round base like you get at the actual theme parks. I'm just not that kind of guy, essentially. Oh, look. I won't let it. No, we're good. Alright. Just want to make sure. I think this is probably a pretty good height for it to be at. It's not really interfering with the land, with the ground, or anything like that at all. So I think we're good to go there for the most part. Now let's run this track around. And once we do that, I'm also going to raise the land around the track on spots that are a little bit higher up, right? I'm not going to... I want to make the land fit the track piece. I don't want to have all the supports and all that stuff as much as possible. Go because of the... Oh my god. Edit track. Alright. Now we've got that going there. And we are in here. So... I do kind of want to just angle it around. Not too bad. Ooh, that is kind of a large section. Okay, hold on. Let's put this back at 0. So that is as short as it will go. Okay. Never mind, problem solved. Let's go ahead and take this around. I don't mind it actually coming too much around this way. I'm going to bring it over here. I thought about doing, this as an indoor dark ride, right? That was the original intention of it, but decided against that more or less at the last second. Auto tunnel off. Let's just bring it down a little further. change that setting. Okay. So let me come over here. Let me finish it. Let me go to the settings on this damn thing. Settings. Where's it gonna be at? I know there's a spot for it. I just gotta find it, damn it. Scenery collision. Disable interact with rides or objects. Terrain collision off. Apply. Close. Resume. Problem solved. So I guess I could have just done that at the beginning when I extended the station out, but hey, you know what? That's alright. That's on me, not y'all. Of course it's on me, not y'all. Duh. I am gonna bring this here. And let's see. About 60 degrees, give or take. Now, a lot of what this is going to be doing is kind of crossing over itself. I kind of like that. And then let's go the other way. Right side. Boom. Rapids, rapids. Close it off. Boom. Now, some of y'all may be looking going, this is not very well designed. And you know what? I'm not going to put it past you and say you're wrong in that situation. Okay? I'm really not. Because these are not my strong suit. I do kind of enjoy building them, but I'll be honest, I really prefer to just do the decorating around them, even though I'm not that good at it. You know? It's just, for me, personally, it's just one of the more fun parts of it. We're going to go up a nice little lift hill. So that's 17 feet, so that's 22. Yeah, that's what we'll do. 30 feet. So if I'd done that at 22, probably would have been 25 feet. Yeah, I think this works. The land, building up the land, it won't be too hard. I'm going to have to try to cut a hard edge right here with this fence line, though, which isn't going to be, I don't think, too big of an issue, because for the most part, ideally, you wouldn't, as a patron, see this portion anyways. It would be there, you just wouldn't really see it. So we are going to follow this around. Come out through here. And keep coming. Alright. There we go. Now this is probably going to end up being a cave section right there. That's the only thing I can imagine really for this, is being a little bit of a cave section. Like I said, I'm not too sure how we're going to completely theme this thing up yet, but it does take up a lot of space. I will give it that. I have made this thing take up an excessive amount of space. Why does that look wonky? That's alright. Nobody cares if that looks a wee bit wonky. Alright, rapids. Close it off. Now then. Yeah, I'm just going to connect that, because I really am not very good at trying to do those final connections and stuff. So this is pretty wonky looking. I will give everybody that. This definitely is wonky looking right here at the end, but that's okay. do this. Let me just smooth this out because I think that really does need it. You're gonna come in You're gonna come in hard down that slope into this section. That's funny. All right. Now I actually don't mind that. So here's where the biggest portion of this ride is gonna come. All right. So let me do that there. Now then, where do we set the number of trains? Not trains, I guess the number of rafts. I think 7 should be good. Or 5. It's a pretty long one, but I don't know how many people are going to be on this. I'm willing to go with just 5. That makes sense for me. Alright. Place the entrance. If I am going to place the entrance, I would probably... I'd still place it right about here. Place the exit. Oh, I didn't change it? You gotta be shitting me. Entrance left, exit right. Boom. Okay. Oh, gotta I don't have to replay, I just selected the wrong button. Exit. Yeah, I'll put the exit right there. Alright, so here's how we're going to try to connect this pathway. Let me go ahead and get this one. Just straight, yeah. Alright, that works. But I don't want it to do that thing where it goes down. Looks like it's kind of raised up right there, but it's just connected to the thing, so. Well, in fact, I could probably actually, let me do that. Come back over here, Q tools. Some of that. Boom. That should be actually pretty good right there, I think. Let me bring it back this way. Come down there. Way too far down. Not there. Puts us right in line. Boom. Alright, so we got that connected. Let me go ahead and connect this exit path. I'm probably actually going to do 2 different styles, so bear with me for just a minute. Alright, bear with me for just 1 second. And if I come out to here, is it even possible? That is hectically steep, but I love it. And then come here. Do it right there. So do it from here. Alright, so let's come down. looks kind of hectic. I mean, I think we all can agree that looks kind of hectic. But I promise you, I believe it will come together in time. Like, see, I can't give a whole lot of confidence if I'm laughing while I say that. Alright, so let's start working on this terrain stuff before I deal with the station or anything like that. Let's start working on this. I need to try to avoid the pathway right there, though. So that was one kind of problem. I shouldn't have put the pathway right there. Yeah, I'm going to have to redesign this path. It's going to have to come out more this way. Alright, hold on. So I'm going to keep that. Let's go back over here. I may have to just put the exit back on this side. This is more of a handicap exit. That's what I was at least thinking with it. Because you got steep ass stairs right there. That's gonna hurt somebody, but it's gonna be a funny, good fall. Let's be honest. Here, a little zigzaggy, but I think it works out. I think it does its job. Let's get back to terrain, folks. The fun part of Planet Coaster, the terrain work. It's just gonna be kind of bumping it right up against that pathwork. Which I think we can actually get it going up against it pretty damn well. Alright, so let's fill this in. Now, in fact, I may end up digging that out again and making like a little reservoir. I don't go for the most realistic things in the world just because I'm not that good at doing that. But I think I could put a little reservoir in right here in this section. And it's basically some pipes that look like we pump water into it. That'd be the only thing. Only reason why I would do that. Oops. Now, so see, the good part about doing it this way with trying to use the surfacing is the fact I got it down to 0 right here. I don't have to worry about that at all. It makes my life that much easier. One little click at a time. Alright, so now we got that portion in. And this, I'm probably going to make kind of a rock section, I think. I haven't really decided yet. It is kind of interesting to see how this is going to shape out. Why is that there like that? Oh, that's bugging me. Damn it. Alright, here we go. Q line. Well, alright, I got rid of that. Problem solved. So let me come back to my terrain. Come back over here. Definitely not that big. this way. Man, I will start to raise it up. I just need to get this going in right there. Alright, now before I forget, delete, delete, and delete. Back to terrain work. I'm gonna raise this up. And yeah, I know it's cutting through the track. Trust me, I understand that. You have to go through and dig out the track with the remove piece. I fully expected that coming into this. But my question is, right, so how far do we make that cave go? Why is that gotta be that way? God damn it, I'm gonna go back over the track again and get rid of those things. I hate doing that shit with this. At least I've always run into that problem. If you never have, good for you, but I tend to. We've got that there, and actually, I think if we did the cave section from basically, probably from about here over. I don't know. I might. That actually worked out really well. This up. Now I could make this whole area a little cave section and have it be indoors, so that is definitely possible to do, and I am more than willing to do it. If I am going to go that route though, I need to go ahead and get those decorations done and kind of input right there, and I'm not too sure about what we're gonna do, and ideally I think this kind of ride works out perfectly. If I'm Let's take a look at the scenery theme. Should be mythology. See, I do really think mythology works out pretty well here, especially with the Medusa thing and all that. I think it's got a lot of potential. So ideally, you know, you kind of come out here, go through a little forest track piece, then you come into this section right here, and let me fix the terrain. I'm going to probably have to just do all of this shit real quick. I say real quick, it takes fucking forever to do it though, but let me go ahead and get this done. I want to at least get it done here on the outside, so I don't have to worry about that. I really don't mind having to dig it out. That's not a problem that I have. I just need to try to actually figure out the angle of this entrance, because I think I can, if I just square that off, because we're gonna have to add stuff up here too, but if I can just square that off right there, then boom, now we're talking. So I'm gonna just raise that up, kind of level it out. If I were to do that, now, let me just come through, I'll make this thing a little big, not that big, 20 feet. And then I'm going to have to come through and do all this for it, and I'm perfectly fine doing that, that's not an issue. What I wanted to think about was, let's get this thing kind of going. Let me just look at walls. If I had this, same level, and boom. So what I'd be thinking about, I'm looking at this, let me just come back over here to all, is, where's that Medusa head statue thing? There it is. Line to surface, line to surface, boom. Let's make it big, boom. Now you're going into Medusa's cave, right? Like that I think actually looks pretty damn good as far as a decoration. Pretty basic, don't get me wrong, it is definitely basic, but I think it looks pretty good. So, in fact, I'm probably going to keep that. Now, in doing that, I can make the rest of this be the, it actually may work better if I spit it out right around here, coming out of a cave right around there, instead of, you know, bringing it further, just because I do have the Q line right there to go. I think it definitely probably is going to work a little bit better in that sense. But let's see. So if we have that on the entrance side, what I need to do now is, this is where I'd have to continue to, I need to go through and do this real quick. I gotta go just one click at a time, right? That's all I want to do. I don't want to do too much, get rid of too much of it. You can see we're already kind of getting into a little bit of an opening section. If I do this to follow the track around, there we go. Now, I probably am going to just use the natural land. I don't think I want to build a big old rock cavern myself. Yeah, we're starting to poke through on that side. Okay. Back out. So, we're starting to poke through right about here. That's actually close enough. So I don't have to close that from the inside. Wow. Camera work crazy right there. Boom. Alright, so that opening is closed off. If we were to come through here, now let me just say we kept this thing open, right? Which is what I really do want to do. Probably would have to, scenery, there we are. And I don't think it would be too much of a story. This is basically, if you think of it like Medusa's cave, a cave for Medusa, right? So we are going to have some of these in here. And I probably should just put down the base, I would think, first, maybe. Maybe not. No, because I can paint all this stuff in rock. Let me just do this. Boom. Oh, God, I hate this thing. Yeah, scenery group. Spit the cave out right about here. We're gonna have those things in. Scenery. Let me see. this thing on its side. Rotate it around. Let's lift it up just a little bit. Bring it right up against that bump right there. Boom. And then, no, but I do want to have, well, see, people need to be able to see this stuff, right? So that's the only thing. Let me close it off. Let me come over here. No, oh, yeah, I do gotta do scenery. There are those non-gridded wall pieces. Here we go. There it is. That's what I'm talking about. But it's not level, you bum. Alright, now that would be level. So I don't think they can come into this section. I think they would come out and around. Let me go ahead and just test this thing. Because I probably should have had it testing this whole damn time to begin with. But, you know, that's just how it goes. And so that's always one of the bigger problems with some of this stuff is actually trying to figure, if I can say, okay, I know I open up this side, right, coming around this corner, but if they're not going to be bouncing on this side, I can just put that one little piece all the way around, basically cutting off that corner right there, which does shorten it up some. It does. I truly believe that it would work better. Best viewers on streamboo.com. Not too sure about that. Thanks for the offer, though. No, we just got to play the patient waiting game. Here it is. Rapids, rapids, rapids. Spinning, spinning, spinning. And I think I'm going to put a lot of rock walls up here, coming around where we're going. Oh, it does go that way. All right. Fine. But I'm going to put a lot of rock walls up and around so we can have stuff shooting out, a little water jet shooting out, pummeling the people that are trying to hope that they get to see their friends get wet and they don't have to. Yeah, so it does have potential to come right there. So, okay. Problem solved. Now let's go back to scenery. And you know, I don't need it to be perfectly lined up, mainly just because I know that the real attention of this ride, or even this portion of it, you're going to be drawn to the other scenery things versus, oh, what does the ground look like? You know what I mean? But it is one of those things that I think just does still technically need to be done. Now the good part is, since this is a cave, I don't have to go completely all the way, like all the way out and everything. I can bring the terrain up, so I can just keep it basically right along this border, and then kind of just bring the terrain up for it. So to meet it, so it kind of shuts it off for us right there in that end. Oh my god. Is that double access move? Yeah, I'm going to keep that right there at that stage. I'll put probably a pillar kind of running up, another one of these style of pillars going up into it. I think that'll match over pretty damn well. And then here. And yeah, I really also could have just enlarged them some, but I don't know. I just didn't feel like that would be the best way to do it in this segment. In all reality, I just really didn't. Alright. That's about good. Now this side I am gonna have to go probably just a little further on out just for the mere fact that I could just pull that boat in some. Now that I think about it, let me come here. No, that's not what I wanted. Not what I wanted again. Alright, so if I go that way. This kind of can help me map out where we're going to have this land come up, and I think that it's actually going to work out pretty damn well. So, what do we say? Okay, right about China. Alright, so we do that. Oh my god. Fill this stuff in. Okay, like I said, keep in mind, this is all going to be closed up. So it is going to be lit up pretty well. We're going to have a lot of fire stuff going around here. I'm going to have some green lights mixed in to different areas. So it's not a dark ride per se. Like, when the fuck did I ever think I'd say that word in my life? It's not technically a dark ride. It does just have this one little dark element into it, but no, it is not a dark ride by any stretch of the imagination. Alright. There we go. Off. And so yeah, this is gonna be obviously one of the more tedious parts of this ride. It is in our Mediterranean section, so I do really think doing a more Medusa style ride actually works out really well for not just for the park and for the area, but I think with the way we have this ride set up, it actually turns out pretty decent. I say it turns out pretty decent like I've already built it. Trust me, I haven't. I ain't built nothing yet for that other than what you're seeing right here. Now, I have tried before to go through and do like test builds on stuff. Downside is I accidentally just end up building it off camera. So I do try to limit that. You know, not always possible, but I do try. I mean, okay, it is always possible. Don't get me wrong. It is definitely always possible. Well, I mean, you played this game before. You kind of know once you get in the groove of something, man, it is hard to stop and go, ooh, let me record this real quick. Nah. Just, I'm in the groove. Got to keep going, bruh. Now, the smart thing I did about this is I didn't connect any of these pieces as one whole scenery decoration. So that was a smart decision on my part. Bring it around. What I am going to do real quick, I'm going to shoot this all the way across. And I'm going to do one more little turn right there. Boom. So that's as far as I want to go out. And just for the sake of that angle, and it's going to cut it slightly short, but that's okay. Bring that down. Okay. Here, it's not sticking up yet. It's about to, big time. Beautiful. Coming together, folks. This is coming together. Alright, so now I've got that part in. Let's come back over here to our scenery decorations. Let's see. And I'll probably put something like this right here at the end. Surface off. Now flip it on around. Alright. Oh my god. There we go. Crazy button clicking on my part. That's my bad. I will have that there. Now what I am going to want to do, let's take a bunch of these things. I'm going to make them a little bit darker gray. Those things there. Alright, so we got a lot of destruction, and that's kind of what I was looking for in this little area, to be honest with you. That in. I mean, take the rest of these decorations here. And I'm going to do a line surface. Make this smaller. 58%. 50%. Okay. 50% there. Boom. 50% there. Okay. And now I probably am actually going to have to bring those down just a little bit based on the height of the land, the cave tunnel that we're going to be using. So, sorry, I had to take a little sip of my beverage, but I think it turned out pretty good. I think, well, I'll see. I might just bring it all the way around that way from this height, so that way it will fit in. What is this? Scone light. I don't like that. What is this thing? Whoa. Let's rotate her on over. Boom, just like the other one. That in just a little bit. Alright, so there's that. Let's see, a lot of shields. We're gonna put a lot of shields on the ground. I wish we had, I wonder, since they added in the western, is there a like the skeleton stuff, so maybe that was part of a different pack than like the western theme. It just seems like, I think in Planet Coaster 1, you know, you had those things where like the jailbone skeletons and all that fun jazz used to have that, and I don't know if they still do. I haven't actually checked. See, I'm going to put some of these things out in a bit there. And really this is going to be a lot of clutter type stuff, right? So a couple of stone face statues. We're going to make it just a little bit bigger. Like I said, you may not see all that as you're going around, but that is honestly okay by me. Mainly because there's that. Is that as small as it'll go? That is as small as it'll go. But if I shrink it down, then nobody will really know the difference. Boom. There we go. There's that segment. What is this? Minotaur. What? So actually I could do that. Now we're talking. So I keep this as like Medusa's thing. Let me bring some more of these statues in a bit. I just really do want this to look like pure kind of destruction, right? Like that's the idea behind this little segment right here. It is just to make it look like kind of some basic, you know, destructive type shit. I don't think putting up little drink shields is the way to do it. Theme sign. I'll just put that up there. I'm not going to put anything on it. And then, let's see. I think most of these other things are statues. Let me put this right over here. I'm going to keep that one as big as it was. In fact, I'm probably going to put a couple more of them. Just like that. And then, there's that. Oh dear. So if I were to do this, oh my god, look at her. I wonder, there is a way I think to attach like lasers and shit to her face, but I don't know if that's the best way to go about it. So if I were, let me go ahead and get some I guess pyrotechnics is what we count. Mythology theme. What is this? Fire large. Yes. Boom. I guess I don't do that well with the interactive stuff. What's cooking, dude? Just working on our river rapids, man. We've got some. I'm trying to do a Medusa style cave. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if you played, was it Assassin's Creed Odyssey, when you had to battle it out with the Medusas and all that. And why is it kicking it offline again? Alright, this is starting to piss me off. So, my stuff was working. It kicked me. It's got an excellent thing. It didn't drop at all. Oh well. But, thinking of a Medusa style cave, right? So, that's kind of what we're looking at here in this section. What is that? Laser. Ooh, that's what I was thinking about. Huh. I don't know how to add it onto her face. There is a piece that does that. I'm not going to do that, but there is a piece that does that. Adds it into her face there. That you can. No, it's not the sequencer. I don't know where it is. I've seen people do it. Not me though, but I have seen people do this. To add the lasers on. But think that this is going to be more of a mythology river rapids. So I didn't know we have what is it, that one piece? Man, now I gotta go back there and select it. Where's it at? Where's my raging bull? The Minotaur thing. That's what it is, the Minotaur. This thing, yeah. I didn't know we had this. I just saw that for the first time ever, so that's awesome. Got that going in. That'll be coming out possibly right here, actually. I think that would work really well. I gotta see how it fits. In fact, might as well do that while I'm thinking about it. Why wouldn't I, you know? If I were to bring it up, that surface off. Smash. Angle a little bit better. Let's see. That actually works pretty well right there. But if you remember from Assassin's Creed Odyssey, the Medusa battle, it's kind of like a fight right here inside her cave. That's what I was kind of going for in this one. So you're going around the river rapids and you end up hitting this cave section. Boom. Going in. There's Medusa. Oh my god. Then turn you to stone and leave throughout. That was the idea behind it. In all reality for it. So that's what I was trying to do. Nope, not what I wanted. Alright, so let me make this just a little bit bigger. Now, I fully understand. I'm going to have to come back into this cave and I'm going to have to come back in and, you know, kind of move all the land out of the way. I understand that. Let's see here. Alright. I got that going. Let me raise this up. Around the outside. Now here's where the fun part begins. Here we go. First and foremost, let me get this part out of the way. This is the fun stuff. Oh god, her head got chopped off. No worries, I'll fix that. Really kind of edging out this cave. I wanted to use more natural light. I didn't want to go with all the rocks and stuff like that. At least that's my thinking behind it. Medusa's head out. Get all her snakes out. Alright, so boom, there's all that fun jazz. Which actually, that does look pretty damn nice. Coming in and out of there. I actually kind of like how that. We pulled that off just a wee bit. Alright, so there's that portion. There's that. Alright, that's actually not too bad. hole. Alright, so coming out through there. That I think actually does work pretty well. Now this section, I think we're just going to go... I'm going to go through and just put basic lighting in this section. You know, it kind of sets that feel, sets that mood, sets the tone. Where are my lights I'm thinking of? Oh, let's just check all of them. Shit. There they are. Yeah, we're going to go green. I don't care too much if they see these lights. I think you probably would see them, at least to a certain degree anyways. I mean, then again, I've never thought about that. So I can say all the time I've been on river rapid rides, I've never really got on one that's like has like an indoor section like this. But oh wow. Got that coming into there. Boom, fire, lasers, Medusa. Ah! Come on out. Alright, so now we're out of it. Okay. Hey, sorry if I missed your chat. I'm not very good at looking at it, mainly because I'm not used to people putting in the chat. As much as I would love for people to do it more. Let me just ask this real quick. I don't need it to be in caps lock. Does my audio work? And I say that because it keeps having this little glitch in my Twitch streams. And I've checked my signal. The signal's actually fine. But I keep having the glitch in the Twitch stream that causes my audio to cut out. So you can kind of like hear the game, but you cannot hear me at all. So I just wanted to check on that, just real quick. If someone in the chat, if you're still here and you see the chat, if you could let me know if you can actually hear my voice. Alright, so the section coming out of that, and God, I hate those things. I gotta get rid of that shit. This part right here, I think, let's just, and it does it again. It still says excellent signal though. I will give myself that. It does still say excellent signal. Let's come over here to rocks. I wonder if it'll keep it with there's mythology rocks. No, just the planters are mythology. Now that's a damn stretch, folks. Good lord. Yeah, never mind. All right. So I got to keep in mind. I do have the queue line going right there past us. And I actually don't mind if someone in the queue was to see that portion of it. I don't think that would be all that horrible in reality. Just line this up a little bit. I know people say, hey, don't use the same rock over and over. You can see the repetitiveness. You know, once again, I don't think I've ever paid attention, but have I ever thought, or has anybody ever really thought, man, that scenery just repeated itself too much, that ride sucked? I don't think so. I mean, I could definitely be wrong. Like, I'm more than willing to say, yeah, I could be definitely wrong about that. But I don't think it's ever happened to my knowledge, at least, that I know of. Well, let's go and do that, sink this stuff down some. The main thing is I got to be careful with right here is going to be So, let's just say we match that up to the cube from the very beginning. So I don't have to worry about it as I go. Alright. Well, there's that portion. That actually works out pretty damn well. Now then, line to surface on. Here we go, folks. Rock placement, fun time. Whoop whoop. Gotta love it. I think actually if you just do the align to surface, it actually works out pretty well with how it clicks off these rocks and off the land pieces. Come up over here. This is a little bit of an annoying piece, but it's one of those it is what it is kind of situation. You got to take the good with the bad. You really do. Now, fortunately for me, there's a little bit more bad than good, but that's not the point. I don't think I want to just build a huge rock wall there. I kind of wanted it to mainly, you know, block off from the queue line. And even let's just say we just raise the path, not the path, but the damn land around here. We can do that to block this segment off from people. I think that'll work. No, definitely not 3 feet. Definitely not 30 feet. Happy medium at 16. Oh yeah, there we go for that portion. Now then, I guess I do have to do the same thing over here. I think we kind of knew that piece coming into this. Yeah, that has it blocked off pretty well. And I'm gonna run this fence around, but obviously not the planters, but I will keep a lot of the trees in this area to kind of try to block that off. Here, I might actually end up building something, right? A little cover. Which, let me show you which one I'm talking about. It's Viking. Let me see. This, actually. That's aligned to surfaces on. What I do if I come over here, bring that down. So I can put that, and I really wouldn't mind this being I don't mind having those gaps in between. Like, I really don't. I think adds to the ride if you're on it. And like I said, from here you're not going to see it. And you're definitely not going to see it from the T-Rex coaster. You're not going to be like, oh look, I can see people there. No, because you're busy hauling ass around a 90-degree turn. Alright, so if we were to do that, let me... Yeah, it's not a good angle. This is where you get a little fancy with the finagling. I need it to be flat. And that is. And boom, there we go. Alright, so there's that piece. Oh god, stupid multi-select tool, just let me do it. Yes. Alright. That actually lined up pretty damn well. I think personally, now I just need to see how tall that gets over. Because I might have to go up one more. So. I don't even know if I can do it this way. Yeah, I could just do it simple like that. Now that we've got that going. Let me see. Yeah, I definitely did need to do 2 layers. That's kind of a given on that one. Go up. That's alright. We'll just have to do it the long way, because I won't change the damn axis. Like I said, a lot of this portion of it is really just to hide it from the people walking by. Right? So I can drape this stuff in that ivy and all that type of shit. It really is just to kind of hide it as it walks, as you're walking by from the pathway right there. That. Run it up. There's that. That'll actually work perfectly for me. Oh, I got floating damn pieces of wood. Whoopsie. Jetty side panel. Is that what this is? That's exactly what this is. Two, 3, 4. Alright, so now that I got those in. Ah! They got me on that one. Damn it. I really hate this clicking bullshit. 2. And we're just going to zigzag these all the way on up. That way at least it makes it seem like it's an actual complete structure. Alright, what time is it? 12:30, okay. At least it's 12:30 where I'm at. Gotta keep a watch on the time. It is Masters Sunday. And yes, I have noticed as I've gotten older in my life, I enjoy watching golf more. Not sure what that's about. I'm fairly certain there probably is a correlation between the two. But, you know, hey, it is what it is. Alright, so here we are here. Where are you going, hombre? Ride attendant looking for work. You bum. I guess I could go on ahead and open this, now that I think about it. It's been tested plenty. And yeah, screw it. We're opening it. Get your butt back over there, ride attendant. Where you at? Hey. Hey. How do I get him over there? Move to right there. Still looking for you. I'm gonna fire you so bad, you know that, right? I really, really do. Oh, I got a ride attendant there now. Okay. Never mind. I'm the ass. Alright, so it keeps doing it. Why does it keep saying it's offline? And then it says it's excellent. Ay. I really couldn't tell you. It keeps saying no recommended changes, excellent signal. My bit rate ain't dropping. Oh, it is. This is coming from what? Sorry, this is all recorded, by the way, so I do post the recordings up on YouTube. And so for anybody watching this on YouTube, just to let you know what's happening, for some reason on Twitch, it is like completely lower. It disconnects for some reason. It keeps losing connection. Is what it keeps doing. My bit rate and all that stuff hasn't dropped at all, so for the first time in a while. My signal is still good. I've been checking my internet signal, and yet the stream, it keeps doing this. It has a good bit rate. Why is this happening? I don't know. I guess if this was my career, it'd be an issue, right? But it's not, so hey, take it with a grain of salt. Alright, now one thing I did want to do is let's fix this portion. It does stick out just above. Oop. Nope. Alright, so that does stick out just above there, and that's okay. I'll take that on down. So see, that actually still sticks up quite a bit above the land, so I got some space to work with there. Oop. You gotta remember, when you're going from higher to lower, you always gotta start out at the higher section if you're trying to make that little slant section, like I just tried to do. So yeah, I was talking before. Master Sunday is getting ready to kick off. Why is it having me offline? Let me try something. Start streaming. I'm going to do the old switch over my internet real quick, so give me just 1 second. Oh my god. I'm on 2G. Alright, it's connected to that. Goes off. Once again, if you're listening on the recording, I'm just trying to get the stream started back up. Connecting to the stream. 2500 bits. Live again. Bit rate is still good. Screen is still good. I wonder. Auto, yeah. I was checking the settings on the stream thing right there. Guys, I'm not sure why it's doing that. It keeps pausing. My bit rate. No, that time it dropped. It's still trying though. Alright. I'm going to just do a couple more things, then I'm going to end the stream there. I might continue to do a little bit on the recording side of it, just live footage recording stuff, but I don't know. It's being wonky with me, and I'm not a fan of that. So, y'all can imagine. Alright, so I'm following this on down. Boom. Yeah. Yeah, guys, this is kicking off. I don't know why it's doing this. I'm going to have to end the stream. So, give me a second. And check out the final Champion Sons. The week. Alright, I just had to put that in the chat, folks. I am going to end this stream. My bad for it being this way. For those watching on Twitch, I don't know what's happening. It could be the fact that probably, I don't know, the signal is fine, but bits rate keep dropping. I'm not too sure on that. I'm going to probably try to change these settings. Let me see. Low latency, yeah, I'm fine with that. I don't have ads, so why the hell would I need that? I don't have keyboard shortcuts. Close. I don't know, guys, but I'm going to have to hop off the stream. I'll be back on next week on the stream. Hopefully we don't have these same issues. I'm going to keep trying to work that out. I think I'm using OBS right now. I think I'm going to go through Streamlabs, download all that fun jazz and get that working that way. So, guys, I'm going to end it now. Sorry about the issues. I'm going to continue working, so you will see the recording is going to continue as we try to kind of fill out some of this ride a little bit more. I'm not going to be done with it today, but we will get done with it next week. So, guys, really thank y'all for joining. I'm sorry for that. For those of y'all on Twitch, I'll see y'all next week. Stay safe. So, as always, later, y'all. All right, I ended the stream. I'm gonna have to deal with that at a later time, as in probably later this afternoon. But all right, so we got that going out there. Now then, so bring this over. Just lay it down. I'm not doing it too harshly, right? Because I don't want to sink it down too much. I just need to get it to where I can have my actual ride. There we go. Alright, so that'll work there. Turn this up. This side, I will keep this side up. Alright. There's that. Alright, I think we're pretty decent there. So a lot of what I'm going to end up doing on this portion is going to be making it more just foliage type stuff, really hammer that down into it. I'm going to do some buildings that are kind of destroyed, so think of it just a little bit more detailed. These kind of buildings placed in right over here. That's really about what that's going to end up being. So, got some more work to do on this, folks, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. That's a sharp decline. I'm fine with that. Fine with that there too. Alright, I think I'm actually pretty well set up for this in the next episode. I'm not going to do the POV right now because I want to get it all kind of really set up. A POV on these rides don't really make any sense without the decorations for them. So guys, I will do that in the next episode. Look, thank y'all for joining. Thank you for sticking through, even though I was dealing with technical issues that y'all couldn't see here on the recording. But I will see y'all in the next episode, everybody. As always, stay safe. And, well, y'all know how it goes from here, right? Later, y'all.